Hey guys, this is Rick Utzer here with AirgunWeb and AirgunWebTV.
And I'm Aaron the Barbarian with AirgunWeb and AirgunWebTV.
We are at Hawke Optics here at SHOT Show 2018 to talk with Scott about all these incredibly new things that they have here in the booth. Scott, I do have it right, Scott?
You got it right, Rick.
Yes, we're going to talk about some cool things, and one thing even that we didn't even maybe think about for air guns till we got here, and I'm going to start with that because
Perfect.
It's the new thing with air guns, is we're shooting arrows.
Yeah.
Right. So when you're shooting arrows, it's nice to know where that's going to go because they have a completely different drop profile than you're going to get with like a pellet or a cast bullet.
Exactly.
So show me what you got there because that really got my attention.
Perfect. So this is a new introduction for 2018. It's an extension of our crossbow line. This is the XP30 compact crossbow scope.
Okay.
And some pretty unique features about this that we've changed for this year. We have set it now, typically we've had crossbow scopes zeroing at 20 yards, but we've moved this one to a 40-yard zero,
okay,
which lets us expand its range out to 100 yards. So once we get it zeroed with our traditional elevation and windage turrets, we now have the ability to adjust based on our bow speed, how fast our arrow is shooting.
Yeah, that was one of the things I thought was really cool because here it locks.
Yeah.
You can actually adjust. So if you're shooting, like the other day I was shooting the Crossman Bulldog with Air Venturi arrows. I'm getting about 400 feet per second. So you just dial that in, and once you zero this, the reticle inside gives you all your adjustments that you need for your different range. That's really cool.
And not only did we take into account the distance and the elevation, we've also built a 10 and 20 mile an hour windage holdover into the scope. So we're taking into account windage for that arrow that's flying 100 yards. Wind's going to come into play.
Yeah,
so we're taking into account that 10 and 20 yard increments in windage and any increments in between.
That's pretty cool. So you know, that's not normally something we would say, oh, that's an airgun thing, but more and more of these air guns are able to shoot arrows. You got the air bow, you got all the Air Venturi bolts that go into different, gosh, if it's 357, you can shoot that air bolt.
Right.
You got the 50 cal air bolts. So that, you know, I wanted to lead off with that because that I thought was pretty exciting. The other thing you were talking to me about was your new first focal plane line.
Right.
Which I started using that last year. And the more I use first focal plane, the more excited I get about it.
Get addicted.
And it is really, because a mill is a mill is a mill.
Right.
Period. So you talk about shooting, we're shooting long range stuff.
Oh yeah.
And gosh, having that is just really nice. So tell me what you got this year first focal plane.
So we've introduced this year, guys, 4 first focal planes in 2 of our models. I happen to have here the Frontier.
Okay.
This is a 5 to 15. We also have this in a up to a 25 power. And then we have it in the traditional, for the Airgunner, the Sidewinder model that we've carried for years that the airgun world is so familiar with. We've now introduced 2 first focal plane scopes in the Sidewinder model, in a 4 to 16 and a 6 to 24 magnification. Same magnifications we've been offering in the second focal plane, we just moved it to a first.
They are really nice to look at too. I mean, I can't wait to get those. Some of these new long-range guns we've got are the big bore guns where we want to shoot long range. These things are really, I think, going to give us an advantage. So I'm super excited. What's the price point going to be on the first focal plane?
So the Frontiers are going to come in at $750. So a first focal plane scope under $800. The better news is that both of the Sidewinders are going to come in under $600 retail price. So that is a first focal plane scope, which is, you know, the hot scope in the market.
Absolutely.
Air gun or powder burner for under $600.
You know what I've found with these, and there's a couple others I've tested. Some of them, the reticles are really thick. So when you go and you zoom in, your reticle starts obscuring your target.
Right.
These are extremely fine and precise. So when you do zoom all the way in, it's not obscuring your target. You have a good, clean aim point. And I believe one of these reticles, I have to look now, but one of these, like that's got your regular mill dots. Let me see the Sidewinder.
I don't have the Sidewinder.
No, it's okay.
Don't have it.
One of them actually had all these little points, aim points underneath the reticle. So you had like the AMX or the TM, one of these very cool reticles. We'll get the terminology right. Put the title up. But it just had all these really cool aim points underneath. So when you zoomed in, you had just all these distinct aim points, which was really, really cool.
Yeah, it's our version of a very popular reticle that's out on the market, that's been out in military use for years, but giving you not only elevation, but a multitude of windage as you come down and deeper into the elevation.
It was very, very cool. Very, very cool. Now, we also looked at some of your red dots.
Right.
And we haven't really focused on that in years past, but we go back to like the pig hunting we want to do.
Absolutely.
You know, you don't need a 16 power scope to shoot 35 yards and put a slug on a pig.
Right.
You don't need that.
And it can take
what you need is your person you're with to turn their cell phones off, though. And when we're doing these videos, unfortunately mine's not here, or I'm sure I would be the next one in trouble. All right, so when you're shooting these pigs at 35, 40 yards, you don't need a high-powered scope.
No.
You need quick target acquisition, especially like Aaron, who loves to shoot them on the run, as we saw last year.
Yeah, I like to shoot them on the run.
Which was pretty awesome. You did a great job with that. But imagine if you had something like this on the gun.
Yeah, that would have been a whole lot easier. You know, I don't have to take time to, you know, get it in and get my eye relief and then get it ready. Then this is just boom, ready to go. If I would have had that on the rifle, it would have been sweet. We
could dial that in at 35 yards.
I really like this. This is really nice and compact.
Yeah, it's you know, we're looking at a 5 MOA dot, so 30, 40 yards. It's not going to be covering much of the target. Quick acquisition, both eyes open, heads up shooting. If you're going to shoot them on the run, like I know you're prone to do.
Yeah, I like to do that.
And it's going to get you that quicker target acquisition.
That's what I'm looking for.
And again, a price point. We're looking at a price point, you know, of 180 full retail.
That's not bad.
Now this is a smaller tube. What size is this tube?
That's a 25.
Okay, do you have a little bit bigger version?
I have a 30 millimeter tube of that as well.
And that actually is pretty cool. Lightweight. Throw that on a nice, like the Dragon Claw or the new
Recluse.
the new Recluse or any of those guns. The 909 would be just a great fit for some of this stuff.
Yeah, the 30 mil actually not only being larger and also illuminated, but we're illuminating it in red and green. So you've got two different choices of the colors depending on your light conditions.
Excellent.
And a good field of view.
All right, and what else? I mean, you got scopes. Real quick, as we wrap this up, talk about some of the other products that you still, you had them before, but we still want to talk about them here. You've got your rangefinders, your binoculars, your game cams. So just real quick, kind of go through some of those.
So we have updated the binocular line with the new model for this year, the Frontier EDX. The game camera line still is in our second year with this being out in the market. So we're hoping to see that continue its success as we go through. You know, we still have all of the accessories, the lasers, the lights, the foregrips for the guns, as well as, you know, sunshades and the metal flip-up covers. So all of the different accessories that you need, not only for the scope, but a few for the guns.
Cool. Well, that's great. So that's basically, if you're into shooting and you want to put glass on your gun, or you want to accessorize or help yourself out in the field, Hawke's got you covered.
Yep, absolutely. I think we've got you covered.
All right, man. Well, hey, thank you so much for the time today.
Appreciate it, guys.
Man.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
All right. Guys, this is Rick Hutzer here with AirgunWeb and AirgunWebTV.
And I'm Aaron the Barbarian with AirgunWeb and AirgunWebTV.
Thanks for watching.